Hello, everybody. I am Coach Aaron Saft, and today I figured it might be helpful to show you a little bit more about Ultra Pacer and how to use it and how to help set up your nutrition and pacing plan. Now, you can go back in my previous video. Danny, the founder of Ultra Pacer, and I did a podcast episode and a YouTube video together, and he does a great job of going over, in depth this, but I'm going to show you how to use it to kind of set up your nutrition plan as well as your pacing plan. Okay, I've already done quite a few steps, but I'm going to go through from the beginning and kind of just show you. I'm going to use the Hellbender 100 as the course that we're going to go through. And I'm going to do a few things, and then I'll kind of go over to my plan and kind of show you how, we set up the rest of it. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. If there's any piece of this that you don't understand or want more information about, or if you're having a hard time finding, a course or something, you can always reach out to Danny at Ultra Pacer. He's amazing, a great resource. I do recommend subscribing to Ultra Pacer if you plan on using it. You're supporting Danny and his efforts to make that website what it is. So do subscribe. The paid subscription, it helps Danny to keep this going, and it's a fantastic resource. So please support him in his endeavor. Okay, so the page I have up is obviously the Hellbender page. I went to the course map page, okay, and there's two things here that I'm going to want. I'm going to want the course, of course, and then I'm going to want the aid station distances, because I'm going to have to plug in those in Ultra Pacer as waypoints, and I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing I did was I clicked on Open in Cal Topo. So I clicked this link, and that brought up this tab. Okay. Then I'm going to want to export. You can see here in the left-hand corner where my cursor is, export. When I click on export, it brings up, yours is going to probably have a different drop file. I already had it brought up in GPX, but in this drop menu, find GPX. That's what you want. You want it in GPX file. Okay. So make sure that is clicked here in this first drop box. Okay. All the other stuff is okay, just as it is. You're going to hit export. And then it's going to ask you, where do you want to save it? I'm just going to put it in my downloads as Hellbender 100. Okay. So now that's in there. Okay. I have my course saved. Then I'm going to go over to Ultra Pacer. Okay. It's my third tab here. Now, as I said, I already started working on a 23-hour, 30-minute plan. Now, what we can do is we can say new course. Okay, so if you don't have Hellbender in there, and you can actually search this under races and courses. I have uploaded Hellbender to Ultra Pacer, so you can probably search it and skip this if you're doing Hellbender. If you don't see your course in Ultra Pacer, then you're going to have to upload the GPX file just as I've done. Okay, so again, search his database first, see if it's already uploaded, and make sure you note what year it's from and if the course has changed in that time. Okay. Want the most current one that you can. And this is easy enough to change. You can swap this out and make a new plan. Takes a little bit of legwork, but not bad at all. So if I say new course and I click on this green tab, new course, okay, it's asking me to select the GPX file. So when I search it, I'm going to go back to my downloads. Here's Hellbender 100, the GPX, and I'm going to click OK. Then it uploads that. Now, I'm going to put in my B time here. So I'll say Hellbender 127-hour plan. Okay. So I do recommend doing this for your different time goals, right? Your A goal being, whatever it is you're shooting for. Now, if you don't know what to shoot for, here's a good topic to discuss right now. Perhaps you haven't done this course, you don't know what it's like, you don't have anything to compare it to. Okay, that's a really good question, especially if it's your first 100-miler. So, what I would do is take your next longest distance, kind of go through, maybe your results are in Ultra Sign Up, look in Ultra Sign Up, see what runners were kind of right around you. And based on, of course, you want this to be a good race for you. So look for those runners right around you, then search their results. see what they have for 100 milers and see if you can compare course, that's in close proximity to what you're doing, right? Then you can kind of get an idea for perhaps what's feasible. Now, you have to also rely on the fact that that was a good race for them. So take that into consideration as well. But that's, another way you can do it. Another way you can do it is kind of to extrapolate from, a shorter race distance that was similar in elevation gain and what was your average pace from that, and just bump it up, depending on the race distance, bump it up from that. Now, that's a tougher way to do it because we don't know exactly how much to bump it up, but take into consideration how much more elevation gain and how much more distance. Okay, so some factors to consider. But anyway, so making a plan for your A goal, B goal, and C goal. Okay, so this is going to be my B goal. I got the GPX file. That's all good. It is not a loop course, typical terrain. We'll just say single track. We can even say technical. Okay. It is an organized event. So here you can plug in the date. Ours is 05/10/2024. And our start time is 04:30 a.m. Okay. And make sure your time zone is correct. You can make this is where you can make it visible to the public and searchable. Okay. So again, Hellbender will pop up. Okay. And hit OK. Now, this just gives us the start to finish 100 miles, 0.05. Okay. So what we want to do is add on the aid stations. Okay. And this is, again, something that, it takes a little bit of time, but it's pretty simple. You go down to the bottom right here. You can see my cursor where it highlights over new waypoint. Your waypoint is going to be your aid stations. So when I click on that, it brings up this menu. Now, our first aid station is going to be, let's go back to our Hellbender page. And our first aid station is Jarrett Creek Road at 6.3. So we say Jarrett Creek aid station, and location, that's where you put in your distance, 6.3. Aid station, it's a primary. You can add cutoffs if you want here. Okay. And you can also add as a crew accessible or drop bags. Now, Jarrett Creek is neither. Okay. So I'm going to hit OK. There we go. It added in Jarrett Creek. Okay. Again, same thing. If I add in aid station 2, which is going to be South Toe 1. Okay. Location, go back to my, let's see, South Toe 16.1. Now, you can add in the water stations. That might be a good thing to add in. So let's do that real quick. Blue Ridge Parkway, that's crossing 1 at 13.2. So let's go. Let's change that to Blue Ridge Parkway. Crossing 1. Okay, location, that was 13.2 miles. It is an aid station. It's a water source, we can say. Okay. Okay, nothing else there. Click OK. And then it adds in Blue Ridge Crossing. And then we can add in the South Toe aid station. South Toe 1 aid station. That was 16.1, I believe. I'm going to double check that. 16.1. Okay. Yeah, 16.1. Okay. Aid station primary. No cutoff there, no crew access, no drop bags. So, and there's my South Toe 1 aid station. Okay. And then we just continue on. Curtis Creek, you're going to have a drop bag. So let's just put that in real quick. That's 24.1. So if I do Curtis Creek aid station, this is going to be the first time through. So you can note that if you want. First time. Location, what did I say? 24.1. Sorry. Yeah, 24.1. Aid station primary. Is there a cutoff here? You can go through, obviously, and add in cutoffs later. But the big thing I wanted to do was add that it does have dropbacks. Okay, so I hit OK. There you go. So aid and bags. So it knows it aid station, H2O, aid station, drop bags. And then again, when you have a crew point, like when you get over to Neal's Creek, then it will add crew. Okay. When you click on the crew button. Okay. So when you enter all your points, I'm not going to go through all of them right now. That gives you a good idea of how to add in the weigh stations. You hit save. Okay. Now that's saved, and I'm going to go back to my dashboard just so I can show you my other plan, the 2330. So here we are. Okay. Now, you can edit these waypoints. Okay. If you so choose. Let's see. I gotta go to actions, modify the plan. Oh, um, that's okay. I want to forgive me. Um, Trying to get to the waypoint edit for you guys. My fault for fumbling here. Um, there is a way to edit these. Forgive me, I'll figure that out. Okay. I don't want to waste your time, so I'll figure that out uh and get back to that. But anyhow, what this does for me now, okay, it gives me my elapsed time, okay, the overall time, and then it tells me my arrival time. Okay, so I can also create this delay is basically I set 3 minutes at the aid stations. Now we can change this again, based on how much time we suspect we'll spend in each aid station. I'll probably bump this up a little bit. I typically spend a little bit longer in an aid station, although I shouldn't. I typically do to make sure I have everything I need. But what I'm going to use from here is the time, and that's what I'll need to figure out. How much fluids do I need for that period of time, and how much nutrition do I need for that period of time. Now, what I recommend is that you set up a plan with a dietitian or a nutritionist. I've had Meredith Terranova on, I've had Jake Edmiston on. There are some great resources out there for us endurance athletes. I was having a rough time during the Grand Slam. So I had a great conversation with Meredith. You guys heard a lot of our talking points and things that I was goofing up and things that I should be doing. Now, what we resolved to do was to do a 17 fluid ounce flask with 150 calories, somewhere between 150 and 200 calories per flask, and drink one of those every 90 minutes. And also, if it's hot, have a 17 ounce flask of water. So, my front loaded pack, one is going to be calories and electrolytes, the other is going to be water. And if it's really hot and I'm sweating really hard, I will supplement my electrolytes. And that's something Meredith and I plan on talking as it gets warmer. Okay. Now that's every 90 minutes, one 17-ounce flask of whatever I so choose. Scratch the high carb drink, Morton, Tailwind, whatever it may be. Okay, that's the one flask. And then in my pack, based on the amount of time that we have, okay, between aid stations, I can determine how many flasks am I going to need in that time period. So, a section that's going to take me, 2 hours, I'm probably going to bring two flasks with me, right? Two calorie flasks with me, one water flask with me, and then I'll have a filtration flask that I can, fill up with water and, use that if I so need more water, or if I need more electrolytes, I can also carry a separate packet. But this allows me to prep and determine based on every 90 minutes how many flasks am I going to need. The other piece of this is we're going to do 100 calorie 100 to 125 calorie packet of calories, be it gel, be it, whatever, choose, every hour. Okay. So, I'll be doing a flask every hour and a half, and I'll be doing a gel or whatever it may be every hour. Okay. So I get to plan out, well, how many do I need? Okay. So, what I do and what I suggest is that anywhere there is a drop bag, so anywhere it says bags, is that you prep to have an extra supply of whatever you need, just in case the crew can't get there for whatever reason. That way you're not stressed, right? If the crew can't get up to an aid station for whatever reason, your drop bag is there and you can grab whatever you need so that you can continue without having to worry about the crew getting there to resupply you and, your race getting goofed up. Okay. So, double duty here. You're giving the crew what you need and suspect. I usually put my stuff in a Ziploc bag for the crew and label it and say, like, for instance, at Neal's Creek, right? When we get down to Neal's Creek aid station, um, that's the first time I'll see my crew. So I'm going to give them a bag of things I suspect that I'll need at that point, but I'm also going to have a drop bag there just in case. Now we hit Neal's twice. So that drop bag is going to serve double duty, right? I'm going to have both times in there. Okay. I just went on Amazon and I purchased some waterproof bags. They roll up the duffels. So Amazon had a really good special right now, and I think I got 4 20-ounce and 2 40-ounce. Now 40-ounce would be something that I'd probably put my shoes in if I had an extra pair of shoes that I wanted to worry about. But the dry bags. I'm sorry, that's what I was trying to trying to express was the dry bags. So I got some dry bags. That's what I'm going to use at Hellbender. They're a bright green, easy to see, easy to label. If it rains, I don't have to worry about them being out, that my stuff won't get wet because they're in a dry bag. So, real good thing to use. I've used Ziplocs, the Ziploc storage bags, a large Ziploc storage bag. They're getting harder to find now. You could probably still find them on Amazon. But those serve really well. Orange Mud has those orange drop bags that are the same premise. They're just a huge Ziploc bag that you can throw your stuff in and label. But absolutely, use something that's going to be waterproofing just in case, it's your stuff's out in the rain. That way your gear is not wet. Okay. Very good. So again, I'm going to go through, start to Jarrett Creek, right? How much am I going to need there? Now it's not just start to Jarrett Creek, because Jarrett Creek, the only thing I'm going to get there is maybe a snack and a resupply of water, right? So I can, carry less if I, want to save some weight. But most likely I'm not going to take the time there to want to fill bottles. I'm just going to want to keep moving. So I'm going to prep myself all the way to Curtis Creek. What am I going to need so far as getting to Curtis Creek? Now that's about 5 hours, right? So elapsed time, if I look, is about 5 hours, give or take, right? So, and this is on my A plan. So you got to prep, with your C plan in mind, knowing that you might be going slower, okay? Especially in that back half. So you have to prep for a little extra. So I'd actually look at the C plan. What is your ultimate time? And if it's just to finish, then make that, whatever is close to the cutoff time. And how much time or how much calories and how much fluid would you need for that setup? Okay. So, that may be a case where you just rely more on the aid stations for the fluid and just carry some powder with you to mix and then just a little extra calories or subsist off of the aid stations. Okay. If you're in that situation, if you're running fine on your A goal, then, it's you probably just need a little extra powder as a just in case, but, save the weight. Don't carry all that extra fluid. Okay. But, again, look at how far it is until your resupply point. And my first drop bag will be at Curtis Creek, about 5 hours. So I probably want to carry 3 flasks of calories with me. It's about 5 hours. So probably 5 gels will suffice for this goal. Okay. So, and that's how I would look at it. And I set up a spreadsheet. So in my Google Docs, I use an Excel spreadsheet that I can share with my crew and say, here's my plan. Here's what I'm thinking, and then based on this time, okay, so with a 4:30 start, I'm looking right around Neal's Creek Aid Station is probably where I'm going to want something substantial. It falls right around noon. That's my typical lunch hour. So my body and circadian rhythm, I want to have probably something more so here. So I would express to my crew, I'm going to want, a hot meal at this point here. Okay. Same thing again when I get to around 7:25. I guess we'll look at A15 because these two here, Buncombe Horse Trail and Buncombe Horse Trail at South Toe, they're going to have limited aid. Okay, they're pretty light aid, but Neal's Creek, again, hitting that, that's going to be a huge meal for me. I'm going to want to consume a lot of calories. So I'm going to let my crew know here when I get into this point, definitely, please, and I can text ahead, hopefully they have good cell phone reception, to know, please have this ready for me. I'm hungry and I want this. Okay. Or subsisting off of whatever the aid station has. But my crew's really good about cooking some good food for me. So, with that said, all right, let's get back to editing the waypoints. Okay. So let's see if we can figure that out real quick. No, you can do it. Just got to figure it out. So bear with me as we work through this together. Here's where you can change the aid station delay. Okay. So if I want to increase that, Jarrett Creek, I'm not going to increase that one. But if I go to, let's say, like Neal's Creek here, right? Like I said, I want to have some lunch here. So this one, I may say, increase this to, let's just say 10 minutes. Okay. Now that's going to rearrange the whole um, chart, right? My pacing chart, because I still want to finish at 23 hours. So it's going to have to make up for that somewhere. So you're going to have to be a little faster at some point. Okay. So I don't want to change too much. I don't want to waste too much time in aid stations. Okay. But you can, plan for those delays. You can also make notes here, right? Because you can share this plan with your pacers. When you hit actions, you can say share plan. Okay. So once you do that, then, they can take a look at the plan. They can look at all the notes based on your splits, and kind of, and know what's going on. So you can add notes there. But so far as, let's see, I'm just gonna try. I want to try to edit the actual way station waypoint. There we go. All right, there it is. Okay. So when I hit actions and I hit modify course, okay, so I clicked on modified course, it brought me to this screen, and now I can edit the way stations. So this one, I'm going to change from aid station to water source, for instance, and hit OK. Okay, so then it goes to water source. Here's another one. So I can edit that and change this to um, excuse me, I can change it to a water source. There it is under type. Okay, so you can go in there and modify it. And again, that was if you click on actions and modify course, then it brings you to this screen, and then you can actually edit all of those um, waypoints that we've been working on. So I'm just changing this one to water source. Okay, but yeah, so then here you can see aid station bags, aid bags. Oh, South Toe. South Toe does not have bags. So I can edit that, change that, and hit OK. Make that aid bags, H2O, Neal's Creek here, aid crew bags. Yeah, so you can go in there and edit however you need. And then you're going to hit save to make sure you get those in there, and you're all set. Okay. So again, that's how I use Ultra Pacer. That's how I like my athletes to use Ultra Pacer, is kind of going through and making sure they know what to expect between aid stations. Again, set up 3 different plans. This is my 23-30 plan. Then I started a 27-hour plan, and then I'll most likely have a 32-hour plan. Okay. And then use your 32-hour plan or your latest plan, whatever yours is, as your plan to help you set up how much hydration and nutrition you need. Again, this is a good thing to go over with a dietitian or a nutritionist. You can, have a Zoom call with them and say, "Here's my plan. What do you think? Can you go through it with a fine comb?" Of course, there's going to be a fee associated, but I think it's well worth it, to have the best plan possible, making sure that you're getting enough, right? Enough calories, and not too much, that you're getting enough fluids, that you're getting enough electrolytes, that you're getting enough calories. This is a good thing to go through with somebody. And then you can have this whole thing with your crew and your pacers, right? You can have a Zoom call and kind of go through your revised plan with those people. Okay. So use it as a great tool. Again, support Danny at Ultra Pacer. It's not that much. It doesn't cost much to subscribe for a year. And he does a tremendous job of responding to you, making changes, updating this program. It's so great. It's based on the elevation profile because the GPX file uploads, that, and then you can make the attributes like, is it single track? Is it technical, right? So you can change all of that stuff, which is fantastic. So, please support Danny. I hope this helps you. I hope you can use this and really set yourself up for success. As I said, Danny's the first resource because this is his program. But if you have questions for me, don't hesitate to reach out. You can leave a comment on YouTube. You can reach out to me, through the website, runningislife.run. You can email me, social media, Strava, whatever works best for you. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, hope this was helpful. And, again, appreciate you guys watching.